Welcome back to another episode of Lies My Vagina Told Me, where today's guest has more slashes in her resume than my vagina has excuses. She's an Emmy-nominated writer, producer, director, actor, stand-up comedian, and animation showrunner. She has survived William Shatner pulling a gun on her. She has creeped out David Lynch. She went viral as Momhead, and she has so many successful kids shows that they play on a loop like birth control. Please welcome the brilliant multitasker and one of the funniest women I know,
Oh,
Miss Johanna Stein. Hi.
yeah.
Did you
Stop it,
like that?
Ricky.
I forgot to say author.
Look, I wrote a book called How Not to Calm a Child on a Plane. You forgot the part that we're both Canadian, and that's
We,
how we
you know,
bonded.
we are both Canadian. You're from Winnipeg.
Winnipeg? Yeah.
I'm from a Montreal, but I just read this in your bio. Didn't know this, that you hail from hippie American parents?
Yeah. My parents met at Berkeley. My whole childhood, there was acid chilling in the butter crisper. I was home visiting my mom and found a massive jar of weed. My father passed away, but his weed still lives.
My mother, who was much older when she had me, and she's, Holocaust survivor, Czechoslovakian blonde Zsa Zsa Gabor mother, she would smuggle in hashish every year in her oranges from Florida.
For who?
She for herself. She loved the hashish. She loved the hashish. This is how my mother would smoke a joint with you. Oh, it's wonderful. Oh, it's wonderful. No, one more puff. One more. Oh, it's wonderful. One more. She never fucking shared. No, she was a drug smuggler.
Did you smoke with your mother?
I first smoked with my mother. I never did drugs. Like
Yeah.
I lost my
There's
virginity
still time.
75.
There's still time. I think maybe that's the secret to us seeing each other. Might be we both reacquaint ourselves. Because I just shipped a kid off to college. I have time and I have bandwidth.
But I wanted to tell people how we met because, yes, we bonded as Canadians, and I was making a Canadian TV show because they're the only ones that would let me. And we were
Yeah,
introduced.
but you go tell
Okay,
it.
we were introduced by an American writer, a comedy writer, who put us together because I needed to work with. I had written all the shows by myself, and that was absolute insanity.
Yeah,
And
it was incredible to me that you sold a TV show not knowing how to make a TV show or how to sell it. In my mind, I feel like you told me you wrote the first season on a bunch of napkins. Am I
yeah,
close?
you're so close. You're so
Yeah.
close. I did write it in a cafe and I wrote five spec scripts. I didn't know how to write a TV show. I didn't know. I mean, I had read a million scripts. And so you kind of get the feel of this sucks. And I was bludgeoned and raped and killed in everything I ever did.
All
So
in the name of entertainment, of course.
it's a lot like this. I mean, if I could name this production company, I would call it, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm fucking doing it anyway. Productions.
How about
So
by the seed of my labia? I mean,
she
I
always
don't
one ups me. It's so
too
good.
easy. Low hanging fruit, low hanging vulva. That's my
Well, okay, so we met on this show, and I don't remember how many episodes we wrote. I think we wrote a bunch.
yeah.
You came up with this idea. I can take no credit. You came up with this idea because it was a personal idea. I will just tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the title of this episode, because one of the things about doing a show in Canada, they fucking let you get away with anything. Do you remember, like, porn was on at 7 o'clock in Quebec? It was on right after Disney.
Yeah. Well, in Winnipeg, it was on at any time, but it was Channel 13. You had to kind of look between the squiggles. You know what I mean? It was full on, but you had to watch it between
Healthcare,
snow.
free porn.
Yeah,
It's a good place.
yeah,
So we came up with this. It was based on a true story, I think.
yeah. It was based on. Do you remember will you explain the episode?
No, I don't remember the episode, but I will tell them the title. The title, ladies and gentlemen, was called Handicap Hummer. Thank you. And I just know that my character Gigi was having a hot affair, as one does, with a paraplegic.
Yeah.
Take away, Joanne. What?
Well, so I aspired to a handicap Hummer.
Oh,
That did not happen. Let me back up by saying that one of the reasons I have loved working with you, and I just love you in general,
ditto.
is that you are I see you as being this. You're this gorgeous, sexy, devil may care uh, girl who has had all kinds of great experiences with her vagina. Wonderful. You have absolutely no shame talking about it. You love to. You're self-deprecating, but you had some great experiences. I um, did not have a lot of experiences. Fairly prudish, but not for lack of trying. So I will say that I was living in, it was one of my first years living in Los Angeles. I was living in Santa Monica and I would walk down the bike path and I met this so hot dude who was in a wheelchair. It was a sporty one and tattooed, tatted up. Never in my life had I had any kind of energy with anybody
Oh,
cool.
wow.
Like this guy was so just had so much charisma and he was clearly, I don't know, he was dangerous. And I think he was injured in a dangerous way. And something about it, he was real hot and he was inexplicably attracted to me. And so
Course.
I mean, thank you, but come on. And so we went out and I was just so determined to
You went out? Like you took him someplace? How did
under the hood. No, we went on a date. We went on a casual date in Santa Monica. And I was like, I mean, this guy's so hot. Also, I've never been physically intimate with someone.
yeah. I mean, because
And I was so curious. And, I was
I
curious.
don't want to embarrass you, but did we have a situation?
Well, the thing is, Bridget, that he kind of dumped me after a date. It didn't go anywhere.
Wait,
At
you
all.
put that into the show. She got dumped.
Yeah. He was so uninterested in me. And so never got to, it was an experience I never got to have.
His loss. His fucking loss. I remembered one line from the show that we wrote just to prove how deeply sick we were. He's a competitive former downhill skier who got paralyzed in a skiing accident. How hot is that? I mean, that's really sick. Anyway, thank you
Jumping.
because that was one of our funniest shows and it lent itself to that. I have a question because I also don't know this of my friend of many, many,
Yeah.
who I really don't fucking see enough. The last time I saw you, we were on the strike line.
That was good times. Yeah.
That worked
Yeah.
out well.
We did the walk around Disney, right?
A hot walk around Disney.
Hot walk. Although I think that day they were giving out free ice cream.
My first strike was the 2008 strike, and I was in New York. That's when
Yeah.
the show was going on. I was in New York, and I got to strike with like the whole cast of SNL. I mean, they wanted nothing to do with me, but I stood really close to them.
You have such backstage energy. Is there a place that you have not gotten into with that backstage energy of yours?
College. Okay, so higher learning. Uh,
Uh,
Joanna, what came first for you? I only know you as writer, and then after writer, stand up, and after stand up, producer, Emmy nominated showrunner. When did you start doing stand up? People ask me all the time if I do stand up. I absolutely don't
Me
because I
too.
would die, and I certainly cannot be funny on cue. I can't.
I will, how much money do I need to give you for you and I to meet? What, $1?
No, no, one villa.
Oh, a villa.
One villa.
Have any of those.
Write it down. One
Um,
villa.
I'm short on villas this month, but
No, I have stage fright. I have terrible stage fright. I have stage fright before this.
you're a very funny person. I don't think I need to argue that. You are innately funny. You're a great storyteller. All you'd have to do is get up on stage and tell stories. Tell the story of Joey Joey. Joey Joey?
Well, maybe one night we'll do some of your dad's old weed and you'll get me up there.
Yeah.
I'll lose some
Yes.
inhibition. All right, listen, I want to talk about the
What?
vaginas in the room because
Yeah.
it's just us.
How many are there? Yeah, my husband left. He knew this was,
Okay,
I told
he
him the
was
topic. He was like, I'm out.
so smart. So
Fine.
listen, you do all these things and you've done, plus you did all the other things, which I don't know how women do it all. The career, the success, the babies, the successful marriage, all of that. You've super, super, super done it all. But what has it been like for you to have all these careers and very successful careers as a woman with a vagine? in this biz.
I truly have fallen into pretty much everything I've ever done. There's been a lot of happy accidents. Even my husband, he fell into me
I
too.
didn't want to do a show on menopause, but I wanted to just be like, we're not all polished. We don't all have it all fucking together. I
No.
super don't know what I'm doing. And it's really uncomfortable at this age to do things you don't know that you're doing.
I
But
don't
I'm
know though.
learning,
Is it? But is it?
I'm learning the benefit of just fucking don't care and do it.
Yeah. I kind of don't give a shit. It's
Yeah, I think that that is the superpower that comes along with it.
I have a question though for you about the the
Yep,
menses.
please.
Have you? This is something that I know. So I've been through it. I went through
I
it.
thought, I'm not going to go through it. I'm not gonna, if I keep my vagine very happy, very
Yeah.
tight, no babies,
Yogurt. Get some yogurt up
I'm
there.
not
Yeah.
gonna go through it. But that, guess what, was a lie. Because
Okay.
if it isn't sparing Halle Berry, it is not sparing moi.
Something that has come out the other end is, every woman I know has is critical about some aspect of their body, right? Through your whole life,
Hmm.
like a eighth or a quarter or a half of your brain that's nonstop obsessed with some aspect of your body,
Yeah.
critically. Something has happened on the other side where I literally looking at my body, my naked melted candle wax body, and I'm looking at it in a mirror, and I like it so much better now. And I can't explain it. I don't think I look better than I used to, quote, look better.
No, it's a
But I
thing.
really actually actively, I'm like, I'm looking pretty good. It's kind of
It is.
wonderful.
It's the brain chemistry, the shit that happens in menopause. Like, yeah, it's a lot, but something does happen in our brain chemistry because I will go out in leggings in in the middle of the day and not give a shit of the Judaism that is sticking out of the backs. But when I was younger, I don't think I left the house unless I had starved myself and worked out
Yeah.
like nine. No, you get healthier in that respect. I just had this little thing happen that I didn't think would happen. I went through it in the pandemic. I was alone. It was a glorious time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I hate that people died and I hate what happened. But
Oh,
Jesus Christ, I just was in this house by myself. This was pre-puppy, pre-anything. The boyfriend was in New York. He couldn't get to me. I couldn't get to him. And lo and behold, I guess some changey change happened. And when we got back together, the craziest thing had happened. Well, like the Game of Thrones dragon with the fucking teeth and the fire had moved into my crotch. And it
oh,
bites. I mean, like it was, my vagina was broken. She was broken, and we were really, we were tight. Me and her were besties. And she was not working anymore. And I don't like drugs. I don't like hormones. And I was trying absolutely everything to try and remedy this because it was part of my identity,
mm,
which is the funny
yep.
thing, right? Being like this, whatever I thought sexy was part of my identity.
It was dry, like the Sahara,
Yeah. Yeah.
like a woodworking class. It was so uh, spider webby. It was
Yeah.
so, and those really seem
That's
to fix it up.
that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I only found one product and it was I found it in West Hollywood. So I think the girls could use it in the front and the boys could use it in the it was
Ah,
unisex,
okay.
but it was a THC suppository and it made my vagina stoned.
Ooh.
It made the vagine high, not the rest of me. But like I was playing like in my uterus, Fleetwood Mac was playing and I was all right. And it didn't hurt. And it was amazing. And know what happened? They fucking took it off the market because it
Oh.
worked. I do want to say one thing. I do think that the absolute cure for me for menopause is 2 weeks in Italy with Harry Styles. And I think I would be absolutely over menopause. If he's willing, he loves that country. I love that country. I think everything would
Oh.
be okay.
We've never talked about this, but I have very few, there's very few,
Crushes?
yeah, and I am so not a younger man. I love an old dad bod. I love the old sheriff characters. I love a potbelly. Not that my husband's not that, but I love a potbelly. I love hairy forearms. I like hands that work under cars. But Harry Styles
He's
does
just
it for me. I think there's something about that album that that there's like a demonic sexual energy coming out of it. Because my daughter and I keep talking about her, but you
yeah,
know,
she's rather important in your.
we would listen, and she was, I don't know, 15, 16 at the time. And I swear to you, if we had been at a concert and he was on stage and we were standing in the audience, and if he pointed at both of us, I would have shoved her out of the way to get to him.
You know why I love Harry? It's the same reason I love Bruno. You know, I love Bruno, and I
Yeah, we love
once
Bruno. Yeah.
Bruno. If me and Joey, the Puerto Rican sword swallower, my first love, had a baby, it would be Bruno Mars. It would we would have
That's
had Bruno Mars.
weird. You just told me you have a, you
Well,
have a
you know,
crush on
it's
him,
math.
but you feel like a mother to him. That's
Well,
weird.
no, it's because I'm exactly 19 years older than Bruno Mars, and I
Oh, I
lost
see.
my virginity. So I'm just saying it
We're
had
talking math. Okay.
right, and there we were told there would be no math, but I got the opportunity one night backstage. My dear friend is the production designer on Saturday Night Live. He's been the production designer for 41 years. His Emmys are all over my house. He said I could have one. Um, and I went one night many years back, and it was Bruno Mars, and I had a huge fucking crush. I mean, Bruno Mars, he's like
He's
he's
the best.
reliving as much as you can of 1979 Michael Jackson off the wall, right? And I was a young 47-year-old or
No
45
doubt.
year old. Everything was still fucking yummy and working, and the cha-chas were anyway.
Yeah.
I was on the side, and he's singing Uptown Funk. If you guys want to play
Oh,
that shit
and
back,
dancing too.
he is. Here's the audience. Here's Bruno, and he's singing the whole thing to mine jumping up and down.
Girl, sit your hallelujah. Girl, sit your hallelujah.
Me and Bruno had a moment. Now, his gorgeous Puerto Rican girlfriend was gonna kill me, but we had a moment, and I got to meet him backstage. He is titty height. He is titty height. He's not he titty height. And I love him. And I went up to him and I said to him, Bruno, I love you, but it's Michael Stevie Bruno. Are you okay with that? Like in order of, and he's like, I'm okay with that. And then I hugged him into my bosom. I just hugged him into my bosom.
Your breasts.
And he went blah, 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 blah. No, he didn't do that. But he was so lovely. And
You got a Bruno ski.
he was so lovely. And why do I love Bruno and why do I love Harry? They're both fucking hilarious. I like funny. Funny is smart. Funny is sexy. I love funny.
You and I have the same taste, same thing. I agree. You know who else? Sam Rockwell.
I can't believe you're saying that. You know, he's the sexiest motherfucker. You know, I met him the same night I met Clooney. And Clooney is a god, and Clooney is a king, and Clooney is so beautiful. Everything. His hands, his lips. He's a king. It's like you're sitting with a king. But Sam
Oh,
Rockwell makes you
same.
just all this said. I really wish I was a lesbian. I just think it would have been easier.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
just taste like chicken. Couldn't do it. Tried it. It's not for
Did
me.
you never even, well, you didn't go to college, so you didn't have
Right.
that.
So I didn't get a. I had a question. I don't know if you have a story or an answer to this.
Yeah.
But I do think your vagina has been very good to you. It's made some excellent choices and made some excellent people. But
Yeah.
did your vagina ever get you in some crazy kind of trouble? Did it ever just truly fuck up?
I did once have, I had an event happening down in my nethers. I wasn't sure what was going on. Something was going on. And I got,
Pre-baby or post-baby?
no, it was pre-baby. Yeah, it was pre-baby. Something was, you know, when I was very conscious of everything going on down there. And something was, had an irritation, I'll just say.
Well, just leave it
And
at that. Yeah.
and I went to see a doctor in Chicago who specializes in
Irritation.
irritation, the skin of the vulva. That's what she specializes in. And when I was at having the old exam, she was so taken with what was going on that this is true. She asked if she could bring her students in to
Oh
take
my
it.
God.
She'd never seen anything like it. And brought like 7 people. I said, sure, more the merrier, and brought them all in. And she was, pointing and talking, and I see all of these faces converging. And then she said, do you mind if I photograph it for our journal?
You're making this up. Come on.
I swear on everything around me. And I said, as long as you don't put it on Facebook. And she said very seriously, of course we won't. We are not going to, this is just for
just Instagram.
So my vagina is, or I guess my vulva, my vagina, I don't know, is famous.
Johanna, you are so impressive.
I know. I really am accomplished.
You have a story that you started to tell me about, and I wonder if you want to share it. What's this placenta story?
Oh, prior to having a baby, I have a friend who is a bit of a practical joker, an artist type. And once upon a time, how can I say this delicately? She took a crap in a box and wrapped it up and gift wrapped it. Well, I won't talk about the circumstances, but there was a gift of in a box.
Oh,
and it wasn't meant to be aggressive. It was a
full-on joke.
And I vowed that I would get back at her. And so after I gave birth, I was in the hospital. And, after you give birth, the baby comes out. If all goes well, then the placenta comes out, and the doctor looks at the placenta and makes sure everything's good, blah, blah, blah. And as the baby was getting cleaned up and the nurse was cleaning all the carnage up, I was like, what are you going to do with that? It looks like a huge thing of lasagna. And I was like, what are you doing with that? She goes, well, we generally throw it away. And I was like,
I'll keep that.
Have it? Yeah. And we had a little bit of an argument about it. But she was like, all right, I'm just going to leave it in the corner. She was so disturbed by it, but she was like,
some mothers eat it.
Yeah,
didn't
do that. People do that. And so people do that. So I didn't tell her that I intended to gift it to somebody, but so I stole it, hid it.
I mean, it's yours.
It is mine. It's part of this blessed experience. God damn it.
Fucking hell.
We took it home. I told my husband about it, but we kind of forgot about it.
You put it in the fridge?
Well, not for 2 days. For 2 days, it sat like under a pile of blankets and pillows. I don't know what it was doing, creating another life. And then we got home and I put
it like a sourdough starter.
Yeah, it was a baby starter. So we stuck it in the freezer. And then, of course, we had a new baby. And so I'm like, could not be further from my mind. Oh. So I totally fucking forgot about it in the fog of new parenthood, which is significant. And then like 9-10 months into having this baby, we were like, we're moving. We're going to move to another city, to Chicago.
Remember.
And I was like, oh, but I got the lasagna in the fridge. The freezer was in the freezer, just sitting underneath the chicken.
The cannolis.
I had to do something. So long story short, on our way to Chicago, we needed, everything was moving to Chicago. My husband was taking the dogs. It was just me and the baby. We needed 2 days. We ended up staying at my friend's house while we were waiting to fly. And she happened to be out of town. And I was like, fucking A, it's going somewhere in her house. And I was like, I'm going to plant it in her garden. And then I'm going to take a photo of it. And literally the morning of we were supposed to leave for the airport. And I was like, oh, I'm going to fucking planting it in her garden. I'm going to take a photo. It's going to be great. But it was pouring rain. Never pours rain. And I took this thing out. I had put it in her freezer. I took it out. I had a shovel. The baby was sleeping. I was going down and she had a slope in her backyard. I was going down her steps with the shovel and the frozen lasagna. And it was raining. And I fucking slipped and spilled down the stairs with the lasagna and the shovel. The shovel fucking fell on me, gashed my leg open. My shoes fell off. I literally landed on the bottom of this muddy hill in a heap. And I forgot to mention that her aunt was also staying at her house. She has kind of a big house. Her aunt So I'm laying at the bottom of this hill, rain, shovel, lasagna, bloody leg, looking obviously like I'm about to bury a corpse,
Yeah.
a head, something. And I look up and I see her aunt who was staying in her house. She's standing on the porch, like with a cup of coffee. And just looking at me, and I was like, so I just fucking buried the thing. I take a photo and I come up and she goes, and I said, I didn't even know how to explain it. I just wanted her to know I didn't murder somebody. I was like, I just buried a placenta down there. And she goes, that's so sweet. You planted fertility in her garden. I was like, that's.
And on that note, women are fucking incredible. We just are. Mia Sarah, my dear friend who was my first guest, she had her first son, Dashel, and she had, I guess, also buried her placenta and then planted a fig tree. And she's an incredible cook. And one day we were at her house and she made this amazing meal, which I've tried to replicate. It's roasted figs with a caramelized walnut and honey drizzle and goat cheese. And the figs were so big and juicy. And we were just enjoying this and everything. She goes, oh, my figs are so wonderful because I planted my placenta. And everybody mid-bite was like, women, vaginas. Thank you so much for coming on and talking about all things vagina.
I am always down for whatever you want to do.
I've been very lucky to get to do all these crazy things, at least in the lane beside you all these years, and you inspire me all the time. And I think you're the fucking funniest lady I know, and you're brilliant, and whatever you do next will be awesome.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Lies My Vagina Told Me is hosted by moi, Brigitte Bako, produced by Jacques Telemaque and Leah Sherman, artwork by Leah Sherman, theme and original music by Jack Moore for balladguitar.com. See you next time on Lies My Vagina Told Me.